You need to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks of you. But let's be honest, this is so much easier said than done. For many people, and you might find this to be true for yourself, it's so heavy, the weight of other people's opinions. And this can be especially true if you're someone who really values your family and friends' opinions. Maybe you're a really family-oriented person, or maybe you really value your friends and look up to them, or you find them to be inspiring. This can make the weight of their opinions even heavier, and it can kind of make you carry this burden of everyone else's opinions of you. Or maybe you are kind of a tryhard at work, and so therefore it makes everyone else's opinions of you at work, your boss, your coworkers, it just makes their opinions of you so much more important, and you kind of put these people on a pedestal in a way. But it can be a dangerous thing to overvalue everyone else's opinions, because you can allow their opinions to sway a lot of your decisions and a lot of your thought processes, to the point where you might start to value the things that don't actually matter to you deep down. Maybe you have a boss at work who values you as an employee, and they have strong opinions about you wanting to leave the company. And those opinions might sway you to actually stay in a job that you hate. But at the end of the day, who is really benefiting from that? It's not going to be you. So it's really important for you to set healthy boundaries for yourself and really think about what's best for you at the end of the day. The other part about that is the stress and anxiety that it might cause you when you're constantly worried about what everyone else thinks of you, and when you're constantly trying to be liked. If you have this sort of people-pleasing personality or people-pleasing tendencies, and you crave to be liked by everybody else, it can actually be really damaging to you, because you're not able to be yourself or express yourself and be true to who you really are. So even if people do like you, it's not really who you are. It's just this version that you've put on. And it's exhausting being someone that you're not. It's exhausting acting a certain way. After about 3 months, people usually get sick and tired of putting on a front or pretending to be someone that they're not, because it's exhausting. You want to be able to live and be true to your authentic self, and you want to be able to express yourself freely. Of course, there's a way to go about it depending on the situations, but it's so important for you to stay true to who you are and embrace who you truly are as a person. And this is because if you are spending your whole life trying to meet everyone else's expectations of you, your family's expectations, your friends, your coworkers, your boss, then you're not going to have time to meet your own expectations. You might not even know what your expectations are. You might lose sight of that because you'll just take on what everybody else wants for you as your own life goals, when they might not truly align with who you are as a person deep down. And it can also cause you to feel like nothing is ever enough. Like, no matter how much you achieve, no matter what you accomplish, you can have this nagging feeling like you're never enough and that nothing will ever be enough. So it's important to kind of say no and stop caring what everyone else thinks. So the key to actually doing this is a mindset shift. You need to start thinking about who you are as a person, what you value deep down, what are really your goals, what matters to you, what actually makes you happy. When you gain a truer sense of self, of who you are, and I'll be honest, a lot of this does come with age and maturity, but the more sure of yourself that you are, the more kind of settled into yourself you are, the less you start to care about everyone else and what everyone else thinks of you. And there's this really amazing moment of realization when you come to terms with the fact that not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. You weren't put here on earth to like please everyone else. You were put here to live your life and to live your truth. So you don't necessarily need to be constantly worried about everybody else. And the key to this is self-love. The more you love yourself, the more confident you are in who you are, the less you're gonna care about what everybody else thinks of you. And it's going to help you to be kind to yourself and practice having compassion for yourself and others, because everyone makes mistakes and it's okay, and we all have our own insecurities. So a lot of the times when other people are projecting their insecurities and their fears and their worries and doubts onto you, it's important to just remember that those things are not yours. Those feelings and thoughts aren't yours, and you can listen to them and then just let them go. You don't actually have to take them to heart. And just practice compassion for them as well, because they're having all of these insecurities, but it really has nothing to do with you, and you don't need to like take on their insecurities. So a few things that will actually help you is starting small. So practice saying no, or practice setting boundaries with something really small. Maybe at lunch everyone is ordering a salad and you don't want a salad and you want fries, so you just order fries instead. It's actually the very little things that will give you this huge feelings of confidence, because you were able to just set your own boundaries and do whatever you wanted without having to pretend, or without having to worry about what everyone else will think about you. So order what you actually want at dinner or lunch. Maybe you want to start wearing bold outfits or try a new makeup look, or maybe you want to start speaking up during meetings. Try something new, try something you've not done before. Most likely what you're going to realize is that at the end of the day nobody cares, because most people actually only care about themselves, and they're not even paying attention to what you're wearing or what you're saying most of the time, especially during work meetings. And they're definitely not gonna care really what you order for lunch. So remember that and practice starting with small things, kind of putting your foot down. The next one is to surround yourself with people who are positive and supportive of you. When you're surrounded by people like that, you're gonna feel a lot more validated within yourself and within your self-worth, because you have this network of people who like you for who you are, and you don't have to pretend to be anything that you're not. And this will help you kind of realize you don't need to seek external validation, and it's more important for you to actually seek out the internal validation and to build that up. Also, one of the best techniques that you can do is ask yourself, does this really matter? And if the answer is yes in this moment, then go one step further. Will this matter in a week? Will this matter in a month? What about a year or 5 years? Usually if something really seems important right now, but in a couple years it's not really gonna matter, usually in a week it's really not gonna matter, but sometimes you have to kind of go even further to a few years. But doing this will really help you zoom out and gain perspective on the current situation, and realize that it's not that deep, and you don't need to be expending all of this emotional energy over something that is really not going to matter at the end of the day. One thing that's really going to help you is just spending time alone and kind of analyzing your thought patterns and going over your insecurities and the reasons why you seek out external validations in the first place. You can kind of think about this in a non-judgmental way, and remember to practice self-love while you're doing this. But if you can understand your thought patterns and why you do the things that you do, it's going to be one of the most powerful tools when it comes to mastering your emotions. And you might want to try journaling if you've never tried it before. Sometimes when we're feeling anxious or have a lot of insecurities, a lot of negative emotions, it's really helpful for you to write it down and kind of release it in that way. But it will also allow you to take the time to sit with these feelings and emotions and realize that it's okay to have these negative feelings and emotions, that everyone gets this way sometimes, and that it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to do anything or take any kind of actions. Sometimes it's helpful to just realize your thought patterns, understand why you do the things that you do, because it will allow you to kind of let go and release those negative patterns and allow you to adopt new positive ones. And when you master your emotions, when you master the self, everything else in your life will just seem to fall into place, almost like magic, because you're no longer being held down or being weighed down by everyone else's negativity or everyone else's criticisms or their thoughts and opinions of you, and you will be free to pursue the things that actually bring you joy and happiness. Life is just too short for you to be living on someone else's terms, even if it's your family or your friends. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're staying true to who you are and that you're pursuing the things that will actually bring you joy and happiness. I hope this was a good reminder to stop caring what everybody else thinks of you and to just go out there and live the life that you actually want and pursue your dreams. That's it for today's little video. If you found value in this, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with someone who might also find it to be impactful, and I will see you next time. Bye!